Now here the question is, let xn be a sequence of real numbers such that the sequence x2n and x3n, they converge to limits k and l, then which of the following option is or are correct? Now we consider any subsequence x6n. Now the sequence x6n, we can write this as x and then 2 into 3n. So it is a subsequence of x2n. That means limiting value of the sequence will be simply k. Now we can also write this subsequence x6n as x 3 into 2n. That is, it is a subsequence of x3n. And if x3n converges to L, then any subsequence of x3n will also converge to same limit L. So from here we can say this k, it must be equal to L. Now in any case, k must be equal to L, but the sequence itself, it may not be convergent. Say for example, suppose we consider a sequence xn and it is defined as, it is 0 if n is relatively prime to 6 and it is suppose 1 otherwise. Now in this case, this subsequence x2n, it converges to 1, x3n will also converge to 1, but the sequence xn, it will not be a convergent sequence. So answer to this question is k equals L, but the sequence may not converge, and that's your option C. Now question number 21 is, let x1 equals alpha, where mod alpha is less than 1 and it is a real number, and we have defined xn plus 1 as xn if n is odd and xn square if n is even. Now we need to find limit of the sequence xn. Now we are given that x1 is alpha. Now for x2, value of n is 1 and if n is odd, it is equal to x1. So x1 equals x2 and it is equal to alpha. Now for x3, value of n is 2 and if n is 2, it is xn square. So it will be x3 equals x4 equals alpha square. So the sequence will be alpha alpha, alpha square, alpha to the power 4, alpha to the power 4, and it will continue like this. And since alpha lies between -1 and +1, this sequence is a decreasing sequence. So this sequence, it is decreasing, and alpha to the power n, it will lie between 0 and 1. So any xn, it will lie between 0 and 1. So this sequence is decreasing and it is bounded. Now since the sequence is decreasing and bounded, it is a convergent sequence. This limit, it converges. Now we consider subsequence of odd terms, alpha, alpha square, alpha to the power 4, then it will be alpha to the power n, and if we take this limit, n tends to infinite. Now if alpha lies between -1 and +1, then this limit alpha to the power n will be simply 0. In the same way, if we take subsequence of even terms, it will again be alpha, alpha square, alpha to the power 4, again it will converge to 0. Now both the subsequences, they converge to this same limit 0. So the limit of the sequence xn will be simply 0, and that's your option A.